All right, all right. What's happening? It's Angie Ange checking in with you. I feel like I haven't seen y'all, I haven't touched you, I haven't felt you in so long. Hope everybody is well wherever you're at, wherever you're watching it. And so far, I hope you've enjoyed our cutting edge virtual music summit, right? We've had influencers and moguls from various aspects of the industry. And I'm pleased to have a one-on-one masterclass with the one and only T-Pain, right? And this is an important conversation, y'all, because he went viral recently for just being like, do something else. You know, I'm sick of the same thing. And so the cool thing about T-Pain is he's got his hands into a little bit of everything, but we know him primarily as being a dope vocalist, performer, producer. But what happens when you want to start doing something else? And what happens when the industry presses on you, pushes back? Because a lot of times you may want to do something else, but your management, your team, your label, they don't want you to. And so he's had to defy the odds and he's had to face his fears and truly do something else. So I think this is a conversation you're going to really appreciate. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. So yeah, let's get into it. The one and only T-Pain. There it is. There it is. You hear it. The one, the only T-Pain. PC, Maryland, and Virginia. Angie Ange checking in with T-Pain live from his, what looks like a bunker. It looks like a gaming / podcasting bunker that he probably lives out of at all times.
Yeah, this is just one side of my basement.
That works out. Okay, cool. Well, hey, Pain, man, the whole DMV is listening right now. We got so much love for you. And this is a different conversation I want to have because you've done so many things, right? You're still doing a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And also, you know, you're also one of the best seasons of your life as you described it. And I want to talk a little bit about how you got to that space because a lot of people, especially with COVID, they're going through it and they're not going through the best time of their life. And it's hard to get over that hump. So speak to how you've made it to this space in your life.
One of the most important words that I've been hip to for the last year and a half, 2 years is why. It's been very important. It's been very prominent in, you know, my conversations with myself. Even back, man, I can think back to a few years ago when I smoked cigarettes. The way I stopped cold turkey was like, why do you smoke cigarettes? And I couldn't answer it. I couldn't find an answer. I was like, you know, every answer that I did have was just an excuse. It was like, oh, my blood pressure. And it's like, you know, these make your blood pressure higher. Okay, but but like when I get real stressed out, I need to. But like, what does it do? To, you know, like why? What you just keep asking why until you get to the root of something. And if you can't actually answer it, just stop. Just do the alternative. You know, you're making excuses. You know what I'm saying? And it helped me a lot. A big part of me was listening to myself and actually listening to the logical side of my brain and asking why. That's it.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel like that happened to me most recently. I got a birthday coming up and I was asking myself why, and and you're absolutely right. I didn't have an answer. So that told me it was time to do something else.
Right.
And so then I had to figure out, okay, we're going to do something else, but and doing something else sometimes that can be scary as well, right? You know, when you're so used to whether it's a habit or even like just producing or creating in a certain way. Yeah. And you know you can do something else, but like you have that pressure to keep doing what works.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about how you can pivot out of that space. You know?
I didn't like the comfortability. It made everything boring. It was so boring. It was like I could have easily done 6 more All I Do Is Wins. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could have easily just screamed on people's beats and been like, I can do this for the rest of my life and just get paid. Yeah. But it was so boring. Nothing would have changed. Everybody would have came to me for that. Back to back. Everybody would have just like, I need another All I Do Is Win. All right, here you go. Like, no, I didn't want to do that though. I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to really add some spice to my life. I wanted to be the person that you couldn't expect. Like when you hear T-Pain about to drop a new song.
Yeah.
Say that like with Kanye. You don't know what Kanye is coming with. You have no idea what Donda's about to sound like. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have a sound. I want to be able to be mysterious. I want to be able to, I don't want to be predictable. I want, when T-Pain about to drop a new song, you have no idea what it's going to sound like.
Yeah.
I don't, so that bottom line of that, it was just boring as hell. So I got out of it and I stopped doing it, and I just refused to do any of it because it just wasn't adding to my life. If you're not contributing to my spice, you're not adding to it, then get out of my kitchen, bro.
Yeah.
Like don't come in the kitchen at the same time I'm in the kitchen trying to tell me how to be in the kitchen.
Yeah. And that's a proud thing. You should be proud of yourself for doing that, because a lot of people never get to that point, or they stay in it and they get more and more frustrated, and they break a lot of times because of fear.
Yeah.
And I think that there is a level of fear knowing that, like, okay, I won't have that comfort. I won't have that person to tie my shoes. Did you feel fear, and how do you feel like you could overcome it?
No question. I mean, it's a constant state of fear. But it's expecting that. Like, you can't walk into a haunted house on Halloween and be like, this should be fine. But if you know, I'm gonna be scared like a lot throughout this. If you know that, then walking through a haunted house is much easier. You know what I'm saying? But if you go in there and it's like, this, I should be able to just rock through this. But if you go in that cocky and you go in that confident, I get it. But if you go in expecting the fear, then it's not fear. Now it's just an afterthought. Now it's just when people pop out in the haunted house, you're like, oh, that was good. That was good. That one actually scared me. We can keep going. Like, now you move past these things with the knowledge that this is also going to happen 20 more times. So you have to have that. You have to have that knowledge, and you have to expect the worst and be prepared to deal with it. And that's the most precious thing of all time, the knowledge that it is.
Yeah. And with all that knowledge, I know we got to wrap up, but I know with all that knowledge, it's expanded into so many things for you. And even being able to put other people on your team. Nappy Boy Gaming is dope. 3 Gamers Sign. You got new book coming out, new book called Can I Mix You a Drink, which I think is pretty cool. I have to get that for my mom because she thinks she's a bartender. So we always are going to need a new drink for her to mix.
Easy recipes.
Okay, good. Because the other book I got her was like how to make a drink with just 3 ingredients.
This is mostly, this is kind of that.
Okay, cool. We can't get that deep with her. Right. And then there's like Nappy Boy Radio, your podcast, everything, man. Just so many things moving. So let's talk about your new ventures and just these spaces that you're in, and passing on the knowledge that you have to your new team and people you have around you.
These things that I've been actually able to do because I've been able to sit down and actually go through my passions. You know what I'm saying? Like the things I've been stifled from doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like my managers are like, what do you need a podcast for? You're the biggest artist in the world. Why are you playing video games? You're the biggest artist in the world. None of this is gonna make more money than you being an artist. And not asking like, hey, do you really want to be working this hard? Or do you feel like sitting down and doing something you actually like, and then we can try to make money off of that? That's nobody's ever asked that. So now I was able to, I got rid of the team and really reassessed my life and what my passions really are. I've been able to sit down and make money from things that I actually like doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want to have a full life of trying to please everybody, or do you actually want to do something you enjoy and make money off of it? Like, so that has been the biggest perk of being able to sit down during the pandemic. And it's all these ventures and everything I'm doing now, and everybody's like, oh, he finally checked his DMs. No, I've been trying to do this shit for years.
That was wild.
I've been trying to do all this stuff for years, but in doing these things, I finally got a chance to check my DMs, and all this stuff started flourishing at the same time. And it wasn't necessarily meant to happen. it's just all this has happened very naturally, and it's just very authentic, and it's just like coming out at the same time. When one thing gets attention, it draws attention to another thing I'm doing, and then that in turn, it's a chain. So having these things be paid attention to at the same time, it's great that I actually like doing these things now.
Well, T-Pain, it has been a pleasure to speak to you. Again,
Absolutely.
this music in the background has been incredible. So thank you for that.
I appreciate it.
I feel like it has helped me ask all the questions I wanted to ask in this time that we've had together. To anybody in DC, Maryland, and Virginia that's listening to this, watching this, and people from abroad, anyone who's in that space where they need to do something else, but perhaps they're too scared, or they got too much going on, or their mind is restless, but they know they need to do something else, what would you tell them?
You know what alleviates that fear? Just getting it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off. Just do it. Just get it over with, and it's either going to be a cringy moment that you think about 8 years from now, or it's going to be a constant fear that you just never execute. Just get it over with. Just go. I had to do that last night. I had to do it last night with somebody. I'm like, bro, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I can't work with you anymore.
And that's it.
Like a dear friend. But you know what I'm saying? So you just got to rip it off, and that'd be cringy later, but you won't be living in fear of what's going to happen. Now you'll know. Gain the knowledge. Don't rest on the fear. That's my 2 cents.
There it is. Pastor, Reverend, Professor, Dr.
Come on now.
T-Pain, y'all. One more sound effect. We out of here. Sound effect. There it is. Happy Boy Radio. Let's get to it. Thank you so much, man. You have a great one, man.
I appreciate you. You too.